Hello everybody, this is Coffee with Cartoons, and today with my older brother Charles, I will be starting a podcast called Scoob of Coffee, where we will be on a mission to watch and talk about every Scooby-Doo straight-to-DVD movie, starting with Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
Should have called it Cat Island.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo, Cat Island. Yeah, I understand. I get why they didn't do it. We'll be going over the plot, the characters, and then how the movie looks, followed by each of our ratings for the movie. What happened at the beginning? What was... Oh, here, let me pull up my notes.
I believe it was Shaggy's birthday.
No. It was not.
Oh, sorry. So it was Velma's birthday, and so they all decided to get into a big mystery machine, and then they decided to go to this haunted house that's in Louisiana. Of course, Louisiana is a town in Florida.
Yeah.
So they went to go visit that town in Florida, and then they went to explore this place that's haunted. That's about the beginning. Does that about sum it up? You would say properly?
Yeah, no. So the movie starts recapping, I think, like their last mystery. Oh no! Daphne's telling the story of the mystery. So it goes from like finishing that and being like, oh my God, it's Old Man Jenkins. I don't know who it was. And it goes from that, and then it's like Daphne's in an interview, like on a TV stage.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah, like a Good Morning, like, talk show.
Yeah, she's on a talk show talking about how it's Velma's birthday.
No. She's on the talk show talking about all the mysteries she solved and how all of the monsters were fake. And how it was really disappointing. And the lady talk show host recaps what Daphne was doing, which is she hosts her own daytime talk show, I guess, where her and Fred, who is like her producer / filmer, go to different places in the United States, and it's like it's a play on Space Goes Coast to Coast. Daphne Goes Coast to Coast. It's something like that.
Sounds right.
Anyway, and then Daphne tells what all the gang's doing. You remember any of the gang's jobs?
Velma, I believe, is celebrating her birthday working at a bookstore.
All right, so it's not her birthday.
A haunted bookstore, I believe, is where she works now. Scooby-Doo.
So she works at she owns a bookstore. It's just a mystery bookshop. That's what she's doing.
Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, they're working at like a TSA.
Airport, yeah.
I believe they're TSA.
Airport TSA, yeah.
Yeah, and they confiscate all the food.
He's a drug-sniffing dog, but he's just sniffing out all the food.
He's sniffing out the food, yeah, and then they eat it. Him and Cyber Chase, they eat all the food.
Yeah, him and Scooby eat all the food. They're like, this is the best job ever. And then their TSA, like, manager comes in, and he's like, you ate all the food? And they're like, yeah, man.
No, they saved him a piece. They have, like, 3 pieces of gorgonzola.
Oh, yeah. And they're, like, huge. And he's like, you're fired! And he's like, we're gonna be okay, Scoob. And then they start crying, and they're like, we're gonna be skin and bones and die. Wait, we didn't say what Daphne was gonna do. So the interview ends with them saying what Daphne's up to, and she's gonna stop doing her coast-to-coast show and do, like, a tour of Louisiana with Fred to try to find real ghosts.
Real ghosts.
And then Daphne's like, oh, I miss the gang. And Fred calls up both of them.
Yeah, incidentally, it's Velma's birthday at the same time.
It wasn't Velma's birthday.
And so he, like, happy birthday to her, and then he's like, you should come solve a mystery with us. Right.
But the funniest part about when Shaggy and Scooby were invited was they were, like, crying over their lost job, and then just a random phone rings after they'd already been fired, and they answer the phone just like, hi!
Yeah, can we throw up an image on the phone real quick? Yeah. So that phone right there.
Any phone, they picked it up, and they're like, Fred, yeah, we'd love to. We're not doing anything.
Yeah. Can you pull up an image of a dumb guy real quick? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put your face there, yeah.
That's what they look like. Okay, put the images down. Put the images away.
Alright. It switches, and Fred's like, hey, Daphne, did you forget anything? Like, they're leaving to go to Louisiana. And Daphne's like, no, Fred, I didn't forget shit. Would you stop asking me? Like,
he was kind of hounding her, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then he's like, well, if you're sure. And then he opens the mystery machine, and Velma and Shaggy and Scooby pop out and say, "Happy birthday, Daphne!" And it was her birthday. She had forgotten because she had been so busy.
Yeah. It's weird. It's so weird to me in that scene. They say "Happy birthday, Daphne" when it's so clearly Velma's birthday. That's what's so weird to me about that scene.
No, that's a great celebration gift. Throw that up. Yeah. It's a celebration.
Pull that image down. Get that image out. Put the phone back up. Put the phone back up.
And then, Fred springs it on her that they're all going to go to Louisiana to go look for haunted houses. And then there's a montage of like a week of them looking for... Wait, they said how long it was. It was probably like a week or two, right? And they unmask a bunch of fakes like they do. And then they're like all bent out of shape. And Fred is eating fantastic looking beignets.
Yeah, I remember the beignets.
Yeah, that's the cook lady who's Lena, and she's at the market.
So they meet Lena, and then she's like, "Whoa, we got a real haunted house."
And they're like, "No fucking way."
And they're like, "No, that's impossible, but I guess we'll go. I guess we'll go to the house."
Daphne doesn't want to go for a sec because Lena's hot, and she thinks Fred's into her. Yeah, usual Scooby-Doo shenanigans.
Fred's gay, though.
Fred is gay.
We've all seen the ascot.
We've all seen the ascot. It's a euphemism.
I don't really get it. So I don't really get this whole scene. This
sense. Daphne's gay too. She also wears an ascot.
This is a plot hole. This is a big plot hole in
Huge
Scooby-Doo.
plot hole.
Yeah, because Scooby-Doo and Cyber Chase, they're definitely straight. They're heterosexual. Viciously.
So they agree to go. It's on an island. They gotta take a ferry to get there. They can follow the chef back. And they just drop everything. I guess they're just chilling in the van. They were just living in the van, and they could just pick up everything and go. That's actually funny. That actually is the implication, that they are all sleeping in the van, and that's why they could pick up and go so fast. They're all sleeping in that van at night. Like a big dog pile.
Next joke.
Anyway, so they go on the ferry. They meet the ferry driver. Yeah, so the guy on the boat, he's like trying to be friendly.
The Gustav?
Yeah, Gustav, yeah. He's got they all have really bad Louisiana accent.
Is a Louisiana accent just a Cajun accent?
Cajun accent, yeah. Well, but that one lady is actually French. Like, they were French. They're from France.
Well, technically, yeah, maybe.
Remember when she did the backstory?
She came from France?
Yeah, they were French colonizers in the United States.
The other girl's accent isn't French.
Yeah, it's a good point. What the fuck? Yeah. Oh, yeah, and the ferry ride there, Scooby and Shaggy almost die. They drop in the water because Shaggy's chasing a catfish, something like that. And then there's alligators, and then they get on this guy's boat, and it's like that guy who hates everybody. He's actually not the villain. He's just like really sus, and like threatens to kill them after he saves them.
Yeah, no, I know this guy. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Gustav doesn't like him, but I guess Gustav's not a good guy either. So it just shows you not all people who aren't bad are good.
Wow.
They read out Scooby-Doo because she invited them before she met the dog. She's like, "Oh yeah, the lady who owns the house that I'm the cook at has a lot of cats. She has a lot of cats," is what she says.
Yeah, she doesn't like the cats. Miss Lenoir doesn't like the cats or the dog.
Yeah.
Scooby chases the cats around.
This is what happens immediately after they get to the island. Scooby just fucks everything up. Gardner's a bitch. Really didn't like Scooby was being all over the place. He's like, "I worked 2 weeks on that planter." But then they say he's new. I guess 2 weeks is still kind of new.
That's new. Yeah, that's big new.
Oh, that guy's gay too. So many gay people in this movie. I mean, oh yeah, this Lenoir and the Lena. Yeah, they're gay.
No, they're incredibly straight. What am I talking about? You described the entire plot of Cyber Chase, but when are we going to start on Zombie Island?
Alright. After that, like, the mystery stuff all starts happening.
I mean, they get to the house, and remember the first weird thing happens, because Scooby and Shaggy are trying to eat those peppers.
Oh, yeah, so...
And then the ghost is like, "Get out."
Yeah, there's like a ghost, and he's scratching on the wall, and they write, "Get out."
And then they record it, and they zoom in on it, and they're like...
And then Fred's like, "I'll sharpen the image," and then suddenly you can see a ghost.
There's a ghost there. Yeah, pull up an image of a ghost real quick, so the audience doesn't know about
Here, let me sharpen the ghost image.
Sharpen the ghost image. So just for those of you who don't know, when you sharpen an image, what you're actually doing. So an image is made up of a bunch of knives, and every single block is a knife. So when you sharpen the image, what you're effectively doing is you're taking the stone, you're sharpening each of the knives, and then it makes the image a tiny bit sharper. It gleans a little bit. So this is not representing what sharpening it does at all to an image. I believe that's right.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right, so it's not accurate at all. It's not a sharpening image. It's totally false. And in fact, on behalf of the entire cinematographic community, I'm pretty offended that they would try to pull that. It doesn't work on me. That's all I gotta say.
All right.
Sorry, I'm just really pissed about that.
Yeah. Ghost tells him to get out. And then Miss Lemoire is like kind of pissed that they're not scared. Remember?
No, she's like, wait, you don't want to leave?
You don't want to follow the instructions that the ghost told you? The scary ghost? And she's like, what? No, this is awesome. A real ghost? Like, they're all just fucking hyped.
Giant plot hole, by the way, right here, guys. Keep that in mind. Giant plot hole.
And then, what's the second weird thing that happens? Velma levitates.
Velma levitates? Is that really that weird?
I mean, it was a thing. Remember Daphne was like, wow, a real-life case of levitation.
No, it didn't happen.
Alright, and then later on, Velma's like in the kitchen, and she picks up the spatula and starts chipping away at the wall and fucks up their wall.
Just starts tearing apart the wall without even asking.
Yeah, to show like behind the paint it says moon scar.
Something like that.
Yeah, and it was from like a pirate ship, she said.
And Miss Lenoir starts making up some fucking story about how it's like, oh, this makes sense. They use old ship pieces to build this house.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the
And they were like, this is a whole ass like mansion. What? They
repurposed an entire ship to make this house.
Oh yeah, this used to be a pepper plantation.
In the South.
In the South.
In Louisiana. Yeah.
And they talk about like old dead soldiers on the island.
No, these are the good Southerners. They used states' rights to farm the plantation. They didn't. They just used states' rights alone to farm the plantation.
Remember that a lot of the ghosts in this
Southern Confederate soldiers. They were the states' rights guys. These are the good ghosts.
So yeah, just that stuff happens. Shaggy and Scooby actually do run into zombies first and start running and tell everybody, and then they can't find the zombies. Remember, it was in the room.
Yeah. I remember this. You did skip one ghost encounter though, when they're all going to bed and then the ghost is behind the mirror. When they're looking in the mirrors and the ghost comes behind it. Remember that?
No.
Scooby's looking in the mirror or something like that. Or maybe it's Shaggy. Shaggy, I think. And then the ghost comes through the mirror. And then he runs.
Really?
Runs to Fred. He runs in Fred's arms. Remember?
Oh yeah, this is the gay scene.
The gay scene.
The first gay scene in any Scooby-Doo movie.
Right.
Because this is the first Scooby-Doo movie.
That's correct. This is historical, I'd say.
Yeah. Historical gay moment. This is rights, you know?
So that happens.
Not state rights. Federal rights.
Federal rights. Give the government more rights. What do they do? Shaggy and Scoob, they fall in a hole dug by the planter who wants to bury them alive.
Right. Everyone thinks the planter is a bad guy. Velma really thinks this planter is a bad guy.
Anyway, so yeah, and then he tries to bury these kids alive, Scooby and Shaggy.
He doesn't do that.
And they fall in this hole, and they're like, okay, we're gonna get out of here. But then they see this crazy shit above them, and then like there's a ghost zombie that appears in the grave with them. It's like, oh shoot, we gotta get out of this grave.
Yeah, it does happen.
Yeah,
actually.
I know it happens.
They just got out of the hole with the ghost.
Yeah, throw up an image of a shovel real quick.
Yep.
That's how they make holes.
Yeah,
with those things.
That's how the gardener did it.
Oh yeah, so they get out of that hole. They run away. They find even more zombies.
Oh yeah.
Confederate zombies.
And then the gang also runs into zombies. They run into the gardener guy.
Right.
Which Scooby and Shaggy ran away from because he thought he was like another zombie.
Right.
And then so Velma teams up with the gardener guy to keep an eye on him, and Daphne and Fred go together.
See, it makes me think
and
of this.
Then there's that big chase scene with the great song. Yeah, it's terror time again.
You had to leave that out because you're going to get copyright stroke.
No, I can sing it. Do your best impression of the song real quick.
Because it's terror time again.
Because it's terror time again.
But here's what I'm saying. This is why I don't think that the movie was thought out as people think it is. Do you think they really would have made these Confederate soldiers the good guys? For sure, they intended these guys to be the bad guys. And then somewhere along the line, they were like, what's your twist be? Like, oh, shoot. They're actually the good guys. Like, dang, we already wrote all the art. We already wrote everything. Darn it, we had to make these Confederate soldiers the good guys all of a sudden.
Yeah,
They messed it up.
It does kind of feel like that just because of how bad the zombies are sometimes, or like how scary they are intentionally being. Like I get it, he's a zombie pirate, so he has a sword. He can't put his sword down to tell them that he's not like attacking them.
Yeah, well, I don't think they can really talk.
Yeah, but you can at least put the sword down, right? Is the sword
and you
well
can always
to do
be like,
anything?
and you can always be like, oh, but why if they're really the bad guys, why didn't they just kill them when they have the opportunity? Yeah, imagine a Scooby-Doo movie where the bad guys kill Scooby or Shaggy. Yeah, they weren't going to kill them either way. These guys are the evilest fuckers on the earth. They're not killing Scooby and Shaggy.
Yeah.
So it's like, they meant for these guys to be the bad guys. They were like, what's your twist be? They figured it out and like, damn, we wasted all this time making these guys look so bad. We're going to shit on these Confederates a little bit, and then now they're the good guys. And then you know what the worst part is?
What?
They made cats the bad guys. That's fair, though.
Well, they had to make the cats for the bad guys. The more I thought about it, the more it made sense because Scooby-Doo title character is a dog. What?
I was thinking it was
opposite of dog, cats.
Well,
although he's a bad dog in this movie.
I was thinking it's more like,
he attacks every cat he sees, even after he and Shaggy have a conversation.
Let's play a little game. I was thinking it was more like, you say opposites, so hot,
cold.
Right. Up,
down.
Confederates.
Pirates.
No, it's cats. I was thinking it was cats. It was like just like, oh, what's the opposite of Confederates? Obviously cats. They'll be the bad guys in this movie.
Pirates were the catalyst, remember? Like they just happened to kill them.
Pirates, they murder this village.
No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
I think we're there. I think we're past that.
No, we're not. We haven't gotten to the backstory yet. They don't even...
Oh, yeah, that's way.
The chase scene just happened. It's Terror Time again plays. They don't meet up with each other. They don't see Shaggy and Scooby again until the end now, right?
Yep, that's true.
So it's Velma, Daphne, Gardner, Freddy.
Franklin.
They're together, and then they get they go back to the mansion, the house, and Lena's there, and she's under the staircase, where there's like a secret passage, and she's like, the zombies showed up and dragged Miss Lenoir away. And Velma looks at the ground and she's like, there's no fucking drag marks here.
She's read a book like that. She read the book that was like, there are drag marks. Because she's book smart.
Yeah, so because remember, she owns a mystery book
So she knew
shop.
that. She was like, oh, wait, there would be drag. I read in my mystery book,
I see
there would be drag marks.
Exactly.
And there weren't drag marks.
No drag marks.
So because she read that book, she knew. No one else could figure that out, by the way. No one else figured that out except for Velma.
Yeah, Velma's the only person.
It was in the book she read.
Yeah, it was in the book she read. That's why she's on the team.
She's on the team.
Fred's just a himbo. Daphne, she does like karate and she's pretty and fashion, whatever. And then Scooby, Shaggy, stoners.
The optimal human beings.
Eat a lot.
They're the optimal
kind of foodies.
Guys.
Yeah. Alright, so even though Velma knows that this is a trap, she says nothing and allows them to be taken towards the entrance even when she knows that Lena's lying.
So here we get to see that Velma's actually the bad guy.
Yeah.
This is the triple twist they won't tell you in the story.
Quadruple twist,
yeah. I think, actually, we're up to 6, I think. This is like the septuple. That's
twist
7.
on twist on twist, yeah.
So Velma's actually been the bad guy the whole time. That's what you're supposed to get from this scene. But they don't tell you that. And then, what you don't get at the end, we're not even there yet, but she turns on her co-conspirators. And that's the septuple, that's the octuple twist. But it's pretty advanced. We'll get there later.
Yeah. So, now that they've gotten there, now that they've gotten taken to the second location, Velma now reveals that that in front of Lena, that she knows that she's lying.
Yeah.
And then Miss Lenoir comes over, and she's got voodoo dolls in their hand. Wait, Shaggy and Scooby saw the voodoo dolls earlier.
They did.
And they played with them, and then they put them down?
Yep.
Is that what happened?
Uh-huh.
Then she ties up the voodoo dolls, like she throws them against walls and then ties them up.
Yeah, she goes like this.
The voodoo dolls all have like pieces.
Throw a picture of voodoo donuts real quick.
Yeah, it's a regional joke right there.
Take the picture down in the United States.
So they're tied up, and now they're revealing their backstory and their plan and why they're doing all of this. The backstory is they were settlers in the United States in Louisiana from France. They had worshipped a cat god. They were doing good there, and then the pirates showed up. There's a lot of layers to this, I realized when I was thinking about it. So pirates show up first, and they want to bury it's Moonscar pirate face. That guy.
Yep.
By the way, his scar does not look like a moon. It looks like a long maggot on his face.
Looks like, yeah, it looks like a maggot, but it looks in the shape of a crescent moon.
Yeah, I guess. So pirates show up, want to bury the stuff there. They burn the village and kill everybody. That was pretty dark. That was really dark.
Pretty dark. They didn't show it on camera.
Got everybody into the water, and then the crocodiles ate them. And they let us see the crocodiles get, like, really close to them, just saying. And then they switch back to them, and they're, like, terrified, you know? They go down and pray to their cat god. They're like, please, we get revenge, you know? Turns them into werecats. And they go kill... the pirates. And then...
Now this is where it gets crazy, because I believe Velma is actually one of the pirates.
Alright. They kill the pirates, but then they find out that they're cursed to live forever, and every harvest moon, they have to take life forces from people.
Yeah. And
so they have to lure people onto the island.
How many people exactly?
You know, they didn't really say. I think they probably did one each, but, you know, they just take as many as they find. Yeah, and so first it was the pirates, and then it was the Civil War guys.
Yep.
They killed those guys, too. And then it was the plantation. No, it was the plantation.
Tourists.
And then it was the Civil War guy. And then it was tourists. They killed all these people. And we see them all in zombie form. If you watch during the movie, if you look at all the zombies, you'll see all these different people.
Just generations of them attracting people to this island, killing them for their life energy, and then making them zombies.
Yeah, and they live off of this pepper. They just stole the peppers and just kept doing the pepper farm thing and selling them. Shaggy and Scooby keep eating the peppers even though they're so hot, and they keep doing it when they don't have any water or anything. It reminds me a lot of the Scooby-Doo movie where they go to the island and then they eat the pop peppers at the end. It's like an end credit scene. And then Shaggy and Scooby show up for like a second and then get scared away and go to Gustav, who is also a werecat.
Yes.
And then they switch back to the tunnel and they explain that Gustav, they turned him into a werecat. Because they needed a ferry driver?
Need a ferry driver.
And he wanted immortality.
Tell me why they couldn't be the ferry drivers themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't learn how to drive a ferry?
I think she came with them. I think Lena literally came with them. Like,
yeah, she did. Forth. She did.
So I was like, why did they need him?
Yeah.
I actually don't know why Gustav was in that at all.
Yeah, Gustav, that also seemed like an afterthought.
Superfluous character.
Yeah. And then, like, they show up, and Scooby and Shaggy wreck all the shit before the harvest moon hits. Yeah, they can't eat them yet. They had to wait until the harvest moon hit the height of the sky.
Hit the cataclock.
Yeah, exactly, the cataclock. And then they mess everything up, and they scatter the voodoo dolls, and then Velma breaks them free.
And then Velma reaches down for that piece of cloth.
Oh yeah, Velma reaches down for a random piece of cloth on the floor and says, "This is a piece of Lena's blouse." Like, she makes it that piece of Lena's blouse when she picks it up.
She manifests that.
And she, like, takes her shit out of the voodoo doll and puts Lena's blouse thing on it. And then, you know, controls them. Then the harvest moon passes and all the werecats turn to dust because they didn't take the souls or whatever. Oh yeah, and then Gardner guy is like, I'm actually an FBI agent, and I love mystery books.
Yep, and then so she marries Kyle.
Yeah. If you missed it, the conclusion to that was that the zombies were trying to warn the gang that the cats were going to steal their life force. And they always do this on the harvest moon to try to prevent them from stealing the life force again. But they always fail. When they finally succeed, they all get to go to, like, they get to pass on.
Pass on.
Their souls, yeah.
Right to fucking hell where they belong.
There wasn't an unmasking. It was real, but Freddy's camera got sunk in quicksand.
Whoa, hold up, though.
What?
If clearly the cat god granted them special powers.
Yeah.
That means that the god in this world is legitimately the cat god.
I think it's insinuating that all gods are real to an extent.
That's the canonical god. There's at least a cat god.
There is at least a...
So,
well, we'll keep track. This is the god count. Right now there's just one god.
Throw up the god count on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that there's at least the cat god has a say in where you are passing on to. Those zombies are going straight to hell. They didn't help out. This Lena girl and the other girl, Lenoir, they're going to cat heaven.
You know, it could just be a cat deity.
They have no say where you go. Is it one big deity?
You know, yeah, there's a different deity for that problem. Anyway.
And why does Velma know that? What book did she fucking read that in?
Read what in?
Because she's like, they can't pass on, Shaggy. She was
oh yeah,
Shaggy.
she just makes up shit sometimes, and everybody.
No, she read that in a book. That was Theology 101.
Yeah,
book.
yeah. That's the end of the movie. It was that they were werecats, the Lena, ferry driver, and Miss Lenoir, and they lost and they died after being immortal since around 1600.
Louisiana settlers? Yeah, around then. Probably later, probably like 17. But, late 1600s.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the plot of the movie. All right. Now we will be moving on from the plot to talking about the characters. What specifically do you remember about Shaggy in this movie?
Shackled. Starter's voice was not what I expected.
Yeah, he's got his old voice actor.
Doesn't sound like what I remember. I like the higher, very high pitched squeals that I'm used to.
Yeah, you want to do a Shaggy impression?
Like zoinks, man.
Better than mine. Like zoinks, man.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's very bad.
So disappointed to see that. Disappointed. No, it's all right. They do their classic thing. They save the day at the end by rolling into the.
Oh yeah, I wrote that down. Deus Ex Machina, Scooby and Shaggy.
Deus Ex Machina. Took a big deuce on that Ex Machina. I'd agree with that.
Oh yeah, and they were just being shat on the whole movie, right?
Yeah, everyone hated them. They're like, your dog sucks. You keep eating spicy foods.
Scooby was a bad dog. They had to sleep in the van. Remember?
They're pretty classic. Nothing too notable, I don't think, about.
What about the crawdad scene?
They ate the crawdads.
Yeah, that was a really good. Like, they made the crawdad look so good.
Yeah, they did.
I don't even want to eat crawdad, but I want to eat that crawdad.
True. Yeah, no, they looked. Crawdad looked okay.
A lot of the food in this movie looked good.
Big food movie.
I think all Scooby-Doo movies should be have a side of food facts. Because Scooby, Shaggy, they just eat a lot. Makes sense.
I think they should. So imagine that scene where they're eating the crawdads.
Yeah.
Imagine it pauses all of a sudden, and the screen grays out.
Why?
Imagine it in your head.
Okay.
Can't you see an overcaster being like, that was the last crawdad Scooby and Shag ever ate. Here they died. 1988.
No. I think this movie came out in 1997.
Oh. 1997.
So Shaggy, Scooby, pretty classic. This movie, a lot of their classic gags. They do that thing where they halfway through a chase scene, they'll dress up as something and confuse the. Wait, did they do that?
They did that.
They didn't do that. Oh, that's missing. Yeah.
Daphne definitely has more character in this one, I'd say.
Daphne got a lot of character. She could fight. I think she fought once in there.
Yeah.
She's a newscaster.
She jujitsu'd that zombie over her shoulder.
Jujitsu'd that zombie over her shoulder. Daphne, yeah, not a lot to say about her. She was jealous of the girl that Fred liked, that was just manipulating him to take his life force.
Classic woman,
Classic, Her and Fred are kind of into each other at the end of the movie, just as much as they usually are, though. Nothing really to say about her. Same with Fred. Fred is, the beginning movies, until, the 2010s, I feel like Fred is just so boring. There's nothing that ever, I'm never oh, I really liked Fred in this movie. You know what I mean? He's always just oh yeah, I guess Fred was in this movie.
No, I think he's super interesting. He's always oh, Jenkies, and then he pulls off the mask of the.
Yeah, he pulls the mask off. Yeah.
And then he sets up the trap. Remember,
it's
always the foot trap. It's always the rope that catches them, or it's a rope around them.
Yeah, but he just did traps until then. I don't think he was the trap guy.
He was a trap guy.
And actually,
he has a mechanical IQ of 140.
Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about Fred either. It's just...
Velma, now here's an interesting character, because Velma, as I've already said, is evil.
Velma did probably have some of the most personality. Wait, no. Daphne, her other personality trait was that she just really wanted there to be a ghost.
Daphne loves ghosts.
She really wanted there to be a ghost because this was her show, and that's what they were looking for. And Fred kept on trying to poke holes in it. Fred and Daphne, they'd be like, well, that could also be a hologram. Velma. It could be this, it could be that. And Daphne's just shut up, non-believers. I want a ghost. I need a ghost for this show. Yeah.
Yeah, all about her money. That's another thing. She's very
money.
This one. Then we got Velma.
Velma was really suspicious of the gardener guy the whole time. Really into the mystery as usual, just picking up all the clues. Basically carried the entire.
She really choked though when she didn't say something about those.
Yeah,
tracks.
yeah, that's weird. That's weird. She's like, yeah, she was just holding that knowledge for no reason.
Yeah.
She was like almost too curious to see where she would be taken.
Yep.
Curiosity killed the cat.
That's that. What was that, guys? A Faustian bargain right there. She wanted to see it so badly. She wanted the knowledge. She was willing to trade her own life for it.
What about the background characters? Any of the background characters stick out to you?
Gardner's kind of a creep.
He was kind of a creep.
He's kind of a dick half the time, but also he was undercover FBI.
Yeah, but like, did he need to be a dick just because he was undercover FBI? I remember he was a dick until one point in the movie where he turned to Velma and he's like, "Why don't you like me?" And then he started being nice after that.
No. Remember when he's like, he grabs her and he's like, he grabs the rock and is gonna smash her over the head.
He doesn't say a word.
But then he throws it and then it's like, oh, that was quicksand. The only way he could have proven that to you was by throwing a rock silently into the pile of quicksand.
Literally, like, I think the gardener was really supposed to be the bad guy in the first place.
Yeah. No, I still think Velma was supposed to be the bad guy.
Alright. But yeah, Velma was pretty interesting just because of how maliciously she, like, was going after this guy as the culprit.
Scooby-Doo doesn't like cats. This is totally new character traits. That's character development right there. I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
He has his classic.
I'd say this is my. I'm a really big fan of like modern Scooby-Doo, like the really recent movies that have come out, and I even really like a lot of the 2010s movies. And
I'm not talking about the most.
I know, but what I'm talking about here is I just feel like there's a lot more character to the characters in those ones. Like you get lore on them, they say things they like, they dislike, they have a lot of good banter between the gang. And this, it just feels like a bunch of characters who we're watching to get the plot of the movie.
Well, it's like they never even talk. The 5 members, they're never like chatting. Like maybe Daphne and Fred occasionally. But, like you never see Fred and like Shaggy have like a conversation.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The later movies, they do have like good conversations.
Right. He's never like oh, you catch that game last night. He's never saying like that. Like there's no like you get the feeling it's just like 5 totally separate characters with totally separate interests.
Yeah,
like
lives.
All like maybe they're just interested in solving the mystery. That's like it. Like they don't actually care about each other at all.
Yeah, that's what the characters just not too interesting in this movie. And be honest,
bad characters. 0 out of 10. Throw up a 0 real quick.
Moving on from the characters, we're gonna be talking about how the movie looks. So, what'd you think of the designs?
What did I think of the designs?
Of the characters.
I thought they were okay. I don't know.
Which one was your favorite? Like, which do you think was, like, the best designed in this movie? Don't do that.
I sort of liked... I don't know. I think Fred and Daphne were the only ones that had, like, I think significantly more...
Oh, yeah, they had modern clothes on. I forgot.
Like more detail. I think Scooby was. I think Shaggy. Well, Scooby was wearing the same shit, which is like, come on.
Scooby and Shaggy were both always wear the same stuff, but they kept trying to change the 3 gangs' outfits to be modern until like the 2010s, and they were like, "Fuck it, go back to the 70s one."
Right. Yeah. Velma was wearing the same stuff, but her hair was red.
Yeah, her hair, both the girls' hair was red. They had eyes. They didn't have the classic Scooby-Doo eyes. They actually had whites to their eyes.
The dots, I never liked the dots very much.
I like the dots better than what they did here.
I don't know.
I thought that it added to the horror aesthetic, I guess. But I don't really think
aesthetic.
Whatever. But I wasn't a huge fan.
I don't know. The beady eyes are like they creep me out. They're not human. They're like the dots. It's like
it's a cartoon.
That thing's a robot.
If I wanted to watch humans, I'd watch a live action thing. It's a cartoon.
But to make it any less creepy.
Makes it less stylized.
It's an uncanny valley thing.
No.
What I'm saying is that as they get to like be less human, they start to get into that creepy zone. I'm not saying they have to be human-like. I'm just saying that they have to. If they get too far from it, in the middle area, they get the creepy area. That was gonna creep me out a little bit.
I loved all the background designs in this. They had some great creepy Louisiana lake stuff. Good montage when they were like actually at the beginning in Louisiana, showing us like stuff there. New Orleans.
Yeah, scenery was good.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, that was probably like I just found the backgrounds very visually good. I don't know, not much to say. I just liked them. A lot of good cinematography here. Great shots. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had
Good storytelling.
I had a suggestion that they showed in the whole movie through like the perspective of a camera, and then just like followed them around, because they had a scene like that anyway, and it was kind of supposed to be like a sort of, they're paranormal investigators going to see if these zombies are real. It would have been such a cool thing to do it all like that. I think maybe like you could give them that role to Velma, give her a little more character, because I think that's what she would have done, right? Would have been interesting.
Yeah.
A lot more suspense, but no.
Yeah, I always liked the idea that the gang would, there'd be a version of Scooby-Doo where they're, pissed every time they unmask someone because they, it's just like this movie, they want it to be a ghost. So they're, actually, instead of mystery solvers, they're just paranormal investigators who just keep unmasking, mysteries.
Yeah, they could do that.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. All right, that is everything. Now, to our ratings for the movie. Charles, what would, out of 10 graham cracker Scooby snacks, what rating would you give Scooby-Doo Zombie Island?
Good attempt. Good attempt at a movie. 4 out of 10.
4?
I'm just thinking of Cyber Chase in my head right now. Way better movie.
Alright, well.
4 out of 10, but throw up 5 Scooby snack crackers. But yeah, 4 out of 10 is my rating.
I'll be honest, I was pretty underwhelmed. The best thing about this movie was the very convoluted plot where they kept adding on things, and also the backgrounds.
It's only an hour and 16, too.
It's only an hour and 16 minutes, but it felt so long. And that's never something you want in a movie. Is for it to feel long when it's not. For it to drag. I'm gonna go, also because of the lack of emphasis on, team dynamic. Charles' rating of 4 is pretty good. I'm gonna go with, 6. I'm gonna go with 6. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 6. 6 graham cracker Scooby snacks out of 10. Alright, thank you for sticking around till the end. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Coffee with Cartoons. And this has been my older brother, Charles. Charles, any parting words for the audience?
Goodbye. Oh, not good enough. Is that what you're saying wasn't good enough? Adios.
And we hope you all have a great day.